officially been a few months since every single member of the 7 disappeared from the Fortnite universe. Finally, one of them has made the return. But first, this is my buddy Paulie, and even though he may look like a puppy, he's actually over 4 years old. And if you hit the thumbs up button on this video, we'll make Paulie's day by giving him a treat that'll take him almost an hour to finish since he's so tiny. 3, 2, 1. Here you go, Paulie. The viewers got you a treat. We all know that the Oathbound aren't the only people who know how to use the Rift Gate here in Fortnite, because so does Amy, one of the main characters created by the scientists, recently entered the Rift Gate in order to retrieve him. Well, her mission was a success, and today he made his return. But first, look how close we are to 4.36 million subscribers. We couldn't be any closer. It would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button and be my 4,360,000 subscriber. Last video, I asked you guys to name this emote, and there's a bunch of people on the screen right now who got it right. For this video, we have a new emote. If you know the name of this, make sure to leave it down below in the comments. We've wasted too much time. We have an absolutely insane amount of stuff to cover, including the return of one of the members of the 7. Let's get into it. Now, before we check out the member of the 7 who finally came back, first things first, we need to cover something very important, because something recently started popping up across the island that's got all of us curious. I'm sure you noticed by now. We're able to find a ton of these most wanted posters scattered across the Fortnite island, and there are 2 different versions. The first one is this one you can see on your screen right now, where the main color scheme is black, and then the second one is this one. It's basically the same thing, but with the white and purple scheme. What's interesting about these posters is it reveals a ton about Chapter 4 Season 2. And it all starts off with the brand new Wanted system. Basically, you'll be able to pay 100 gold to reduce heat. Think of it like the Wanted system from Grand Theft Auto, where whenever you commit a crime or eliminate a player, you'll then be awarded a Wanted level, causing basically the entire lobby to start hunting you down. But what's even more important is if you notice, the image on the poster actually appears to be a thief taking a mugshot, meaning these posters are likely directly tied to Wildcard and the heist he's been planning this season that him and the Aura have actually teamed up on. Now, we may not know exactly what they're trying to rob, but we have to assume it's something from the Oathbound, since after all, they basically control the entire island. And you remember about a week and a half ago when we received a brand new NPC known as the Rebel character, that whenever you go up and talk to him, he says the most important thing on this island isn't bars or prestige, it's freedom. On top of that, his character description literally says oppose the establishment. So if the Wildcard and Aura are actually planning on robbing the Oathbound, it basically sounds right up Rebel's alley as he opposes the establishment. And apparently they asked him if he wanted to join, because he actually says, I'm not getting tangled up in crews and their heists. But the reason they wanted to get him involved isn't just because he totally opposes the establishment, but actually because of the area he's located in, that's known as the Hall of Whispers, and appears to include some very, very important things, like numerous different books, super cool looking statue holding a giant sword and shield, lots of mysterious different writings all over the walls, and even this very, very important looking obelisk type thing that has the exact same logo as the hatch covering the 0 point. I have no idea why the Rebel character out of everyone was the one to spawn in this highly classified room, and if I'm being honest, I think there's a good chance that this could even be the theme for Chapter 4 Season 2. And don't worry, coming up next is the return of one member of the 7. But first, here we are dropping into a game, because I have to show you something absolutely insane that in my entire time of almost 2,000 days of playing Fortnite, I never noticed before. And I honestly guarantee even if you've been playing Fortnite for longer, you haven't noticed either. So first things first, we're actually gonna need to locate for ourselves one of the brand new slurp juices. I guess technically they're not brand new. They were added into the game all the way back in Chapter 1, but we haven't seen them since then. Oh, okay, and that wasn't that hard at all. We have some slurp juice right here in front of us. Here's the interesting part. If we actually find any scoped weapon, I have the DMR in my inventory, and then aim down slight at the slurp juice. If we move around to this side just a little bit, actually able to see on the front of the slurp juice thing, there is literally some text. It's kind of hard to make out because it is really tiny, but I'm pretty sure it says Le Jar. According to Google Translate, that's French, meaning the jar. Below that, it looks like you're also able to make out a bunch of scribbles and stuff. I honestly think it's insane. I've been playing Fortnite for almost 2,000 days and never knew the slurp juice container had writing on it. It's time to show you something even crazier. So we all know about this little gas station located on the island. I want you to pay attention attention to this spot right in front of me. Obviously, there's nothing there except for my marker right now. But then, if you go to the exact same location while in replay mode, you're actually able to find this very, very weird and out-of-place traffic light that clearly has a Christmas theme to it. You're able to see a bunch of Christmas lights running up the side, and at the top of it, you're even able to see some nice little reindeer antlers. Come to find out, this traffic light was actually used for one of this year's Winterfest quests, but apparently, they forgot to move the asset from replay mode whenever this year's event ended. But now, it's finally time to reveal the member of the 7 that returned, which has been a very, very long time coming, ever since they first started disappearing almost 6 months ago. Currently, we know the Imagined, which is one of Geno's daughter and also a member of the 7, has already returned from her trip into a different reality, where if you didn't know, after the Collision Live event, both her and Geno fell into the 0 point. They arrived in the exact same mysterious reality we saw the Foundation and Agent Jones flying through at the end of the event. It's unknown how she managed to make our way back to our reality, but we know she did, because in Chapter 3, Season 3, she went missing once again, leaving nothing behind but her sword. Her sister, the Order, suffered a very similar fate and also went missing from the island, leaving nothing behind but her wings at Lazy Lagoon. On top of that, we also know the Origin himself was consumed by the Chrome, as we saw in the Season 4 trailer, just like the Scientist, meaning he'll likely be the next member of the 7 to return. Finally, we have the Foundation, who is likely still trapped inside of that mysterious reality with Geno. Personally, I believe Geno and the Foundation are actually the same person, but that's a different topic for a different video. Many people think the Foundation has already returned, since it appeared the Scientist was actually in contact with him a couple of seasons ago, whenever the Galactic Cruiser appeared over the island. Which brings us to the Paradigm, which is essentially the only member of the 7 that was able to avoid going missing, and essentially led us through the entire season into the brand new chapter. And if you didn't figure it out by now, the member that has actually returned is the Scientist, which I'm very, very thankful for, as he is easily one of the most important members of the 7. Obviously, this was all done by Amy, the AI assistant the Scientist created in Chapter 3, who spent the last few weeks testing out the Riftgate to figure out exactly what the Oathbound was planning, before coming to the realization that the Riftgate itself was currently focused on the Scientist's reality. However, it was later revealed that something terrible is happening to the Scientist, hinting that the Scientist would never be the same again. I'm gonna find out. It seems like the Scientist knew this would happen all along if he freed the 0 point, because believe it or not, actually all the way back in Chapter 3, Season 4, the Scientist went on to say this.
If you're listening to this, it means I'm gone. I don't know where they took me, and I don't know if I'll be back. I promised freeing the 0 point would be safe. I deserve it.
The good news is this confirms that the Scientist is alive and well, and the Chrome itself essentially just acts as a form of transportation for whoever is controlling it. We have to assume that he is inside the last reality, which makes perfect sense, because if you remember, back in Chapter 2, Season 7, whenever we entered the mothership, we would actually spawn inside of these tiny little prison cells that we never actually saw used in the Fortnite storyline. Personally, I believe there's a greater than 90% chance that this is where the Scientist has been all along. The good news is, we all thought we needed to wait for the hatch covering the 0 point to open in order for him to make his return. That's not the case anymore, because as Amy demonstrated, characters in the Fortnite universe are able to use the Riftgate to enter and exit different realities, essentially meaning there's no use for the 0 point at all, at least in terms of getting characters to return to the island. But let's be honest, we all know the 0 point is gonna play a major role some point in Fortnite Chapter 4. The only question that remains is, will the Scientist return in time to help us defeat the Shapeless Man? As soon as he's back, I'm gonna make sure to let every single one of you guys know by making a tweet on my Twitter account at HomieGamesYT. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.